Hi folks, I'm Gary Dunship at Big Bend Saddlery. Our tack tip for this month, wanted to talk a little bit about rawhide as it pertains to saddles and tack. Rawhide is it's a good product if you use it in the right places, and a lot of times it gets used in the wrong places. But as far as saddles go, some of the places that you use rawhide on a saddle is horn rims, cantle bindings. We used to cover a lot of swells in rawhide a good many years ago. You don't see too many of them anymore. But rawhide on a saddle really isn't too good of a deal. It used to be okay because we had different rawhide than we have now. Rawhide today comes off young, fattened animals out of the feedlot, and that doesn't make very good rawhide. The best rawhide comes from old animals in poor condition, and that's good rawhide, but there's just not a ready availability of old, poor condition cattle now. So if you buy rawhide from any of the people that produce rawhide, it comes off of a steer that's probably 2 years old or less. It came out of a feedlot and was really fat, so it doesn't work really good. And what will happen with this kind of rawhide, whenever you use it on a saddle, sun is the enemy of rawhide. And of course on a saddle, it's in the sun all the time. And that rawhide will just keep drying and keep drying and keep drying. And it will suck down and shrink up and just keep moving around on you. And that's not a good deal. I have a example here on this saddle. I'll point it out to you. And this isn't bad. It's kind of, I mean, it's good for as old as this saddle is, but you can see where this cantle binding was up next to this middle string cut right here, and over the years it's moved about 3/4 of an inch, and that's what's happened. I've seen them pull completely loose out from underneath there and just be dangling out here in the air. It'll pull loose so easy. And like this horn rim, it has stayed on in pretty good kind of shape. I mean, it hadn't drawn away or anything. So it did pretty good over the years. Might be a new one that's been put on since the cantle binding was put on. But the old rawhide worked pretty good. The new rawhide, not so much. Today, a lot of stuff's made out of rawhide. People like rawhide covered stirrups. And I don't know how many hundreds of pairs of rawhide stirrups I've seen that have shrunk up, and the rawhide comes completely out from under the leather, wear leather there. And I chose this particular stirrup to show you two things: that mice really like rawhide as well. They kind of overhaul this, and a lot of times when you buy a covered stirrup that's rawhide covered or leather stirrup, this is what you're getting inside, is a piece of plastic. Some of the good uses we have for rawhide are things like these rawhide bosals have rawhide cores in them, and rawhide reins and romal, hobbles, things like that. And that all works really well, even though they're in the sunlight. But the reason it works is we have products like this Vaquero rawhide cream that Ray Holes makes. Really good stuff. And we'll kind of tend to our hackamores and bosals and reins and things and put that on there, and it works really good, and we can keep them in pretty good kind of condition. But on the saddle, it doesn't seem like we remember to do that quite so much. But anyway, that's just some of the things that rawhide works good for, and some of the things you probably want to stay away from if you're ordering a new saddle. I certainly wouldn't order a new saddle with a rawhide horn rim, a rawhide cantle binding, or a rawhide swell cover. People say, well, the tree's rawhide covered, and that's true, but it's covered up and the sunlight can't get to it. So we don't have as much trouble with the rawhide covered trees as we do to the rawhide that's exposed to the sun. Well, thanks for watching this month's tack tip, and if we can help you with anything here at the shop, just give us a call. If you have questions about rawhide or any other tack questions you might have, just give us a ring. Thanks.